What's going on, you guys? So, you have food sensitivities, or someone you know, someone close to you, someone that lives in your house has food sensitivities, and you're thinking, okay, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to still cook for them? How am I going to cook for myself? How am I going to cook for my child? We have so many recipes that now I can't make for them anymore, and that just totally stinks, right? I mean, you don't know what to do. Well, that's why we're here today. Hi, I'm Coach Bev, or Beverly Schlag from BeverlySchlag.com, and I wanted to share with you how we, in our house, have managed to tweak things and change up our ingredients so that we could make regular things that we would normally eat by just switching ingredients. So basically what we are dealing with in our household is my son is wheat and gluten free, he is dairy free, he is sugar free of all processed sugars, so he can deal with pretty much just fruit sugar or one type of other sugar that is out there, or one type of sweetener. It's not really necessarily a sugar. So, and then I have gluten and let's see what else, oats and almonds, and so it's kind of different. It depends on who I'm cooking for, but we try to make it comprehensive so that it really, you know, encompasses everybody, and we don't have to make multiple different things for each person in our household. So, real quick, first things first, in the morning, what do we eat, right? Well, luckily we don't have any egg sensitivities, so we do have eggs, and we also have oats. As I just said, yes, I have an oat sensitivity, but everybody else doesn't, so we make crock pot oats. And we make steel-cut gluten-free oats. And my apologies, this will be backwards, but I promise in the blog post that I make, I will list everything that I'm showing you here. So if you missed something, if it's backwards and you can't understand it, you'll be able to see it in there. Okay, so steel-cut oats. That is what we use every single morning, crock pot oats. And since I can't do the oats, I do this organic brown rice farina cereal. It's fantastic. Cook it the exact same way as oats. So, I mean, it takes like 6 minutes in the morning, and then I throw some fruit in there. It's freaking awesome. Anyway, so that is our fix on cereal. We don't have box cereal. No. So, now what else do we do? Flour. How do we get around flour? We're gluten-free, we're wheat-free. What in heaven's name do we do, right? Okay, so these are just 3 of the flours that we have. We have more, but I don't want, it could take a while to get through all the flours. But our most common flour that we use, like if we are going to make pancakes or really just about anything that requires flour, but mainly we use them for pancakes. We use this gluten-free 1-to-1 baking flour. It is fantastic. It really works wonderful. Yes, the consistency is a little bit different, but you can tweak it. If you know how to bake, if you know how to cook, you can make tweaks. Plus, there's lots of tips on how to tweak things as you start researching. There's just so much information out there, you guys. Okay, now, next one that we use is organic coconut flour. Again, you have to tweak it a little bit. And another one that we just found recently, it was over the holidays, cassava flour. Crazy, right? It's actually from tapioca. It's not tapioca flour, but it is from tapioca. So those are all gluten-free flours, gluten-free, wheat-free flours that we have at all times in our house. Okay, now, I mentioned yesterday in my live about these cheesy kale chips that we make. Well, as I said, my son is dairy-free. So how on earth do I make them cheesy? This is how I do it. Nutritional yeast flakes. Yeah. So these flakes, this nutritional yeast, it really has like a cheddar cheesy flavor, and it works perfect for adding in, we've made chili cheese green beans. I know, sounds crazy, right? But they're really delicious. And yeah, it just works wonderfully to give you that cheesy flavor. Okay, now, what do we do about when we're needing to cook with butter? Well, there's a few different things. Some people can use this ghee butter, and because it's lactose free, but unfortunately, my son, nope, his dairy allergy still detects like, nope, I can't deal with this, and he will still develop an eczema rash from it. So we've eliminated that one, but from time to time, if I'm cooking for someone else, then I can use that. Another thing that we use all the time is organic virgin coconut oil. Believe it or not, you can replace it for butter, and it works fantastic. Now, something that I noticed with baking and coconut oil, that doesn't always work all that well. So over the holidays, I found this. It is non-hydrogenated organic all vegetable shortening. Now, I don't use it often, but if I'm making something that requires a thicker, like consistency oil, like it does require butter or it requires shortening, I can use this in its place, or even split it, half this and then half the coconut oil, and it works fantastic. So I love that. Okay, now milks. How do we deal with milk, right? That's crazy. As I mentioned, I have an almond sensitivity. Actually, my son does too. So he uses rice milk, rice stream rice milk, all the time. That's what he uses. And then the rest of my family uses almond milk. Almond Breeze, or our local grocery store has a great brand that we like to use. That I actually prefer. The one thing that you want to be careful with when it comes to like the alternative milks is that you look at the ingredient label and make sure it doesn't have carrageenan in it. Carrageenan is a known carcinogenic, and it also causes inflammation in your digestive tract. So when you're already dealing with a sensitivity, that's the last thing that you need is more inflammation going on, because those sensitivities, what you're seeing on the outside is because of internal inflammation. So you want to make sure that you don't have that going on. All right, and then what I use is coconut milk. I love Trader Joe's organic reduced fat coconut milk and the full fat. It's fantastic. It works wonders. I love it. Okay, now I mentioned that my son cannot do sugar, right? So what in heaven's name do we do to sweeten things? Well, I don't have the package. I wish I did, but this right here, this is stevia. And it is not like the over-processed stevia that you can get at in some brands that that have like additives and stuff to it, that actually have sugar added to it. They're just, the sugar's named something else, which you can, yeah. If it just doesn't say just stevia or the familia name, I don't know how to say that, familia, I don't know. You know, where the plant name of stevia, if it doesn't just have that, then there's something else in it. And generally speaking, stevia is green. So yes, it can give a green tinge to something that you're making. If you're making something white, it can give it like kind of a green hue. Sugar cookies with stevia kind of turn out a little green, but you know, Christmas time, that's all right, right? Anyway, and then we also use sweet leaf stevia drops because, again, they do not have a bunch of added stuff to them. Now, for everybody else in the house, we just kind of steer away from processed sugars because we know basically how bad they are for us. So we tend to go to natural sweeteners, and if we're not using stevia, then we'll use pure honey. Pure raw honey is the best. Local honey is fantastic, especially if you have allergies. And then maple syrup. So that's pretty much it, you guys. That is a very small overview of the things that we utilize in our household that help us to be able to make a lot of the normal foods that other people eat, and we're able to work it out and make the things that you know, taste pretty much the same. Yes, there are a little bit variations. I mean, stevia definitely does not taste like sugar, and it's super sweet, but it's super sweet in a different way. But yeah, so that's what we do, you guys, and I hope that this helps you, and I look forward to being able to help you in the future. If you have any questions at any point, you feel free to reach out to me, and I will steer you in the direction that I can best do. But as I said, this right here is for our food sensitivities. There, I'm sure, are many other options that are, you know, basically for the other common sensitivities, like, you know, soy and eggs, which we didn't even hit that, which I do have a couple tips on that I will include in my blog that I will post later today. But for now, that's it. This is Coach Bev, or Beverly Schlag, and I'll see you later. Bye.